Today I'm going to show you one of my favorite features of OpenTofu and Terraform because it is available in both, and that is the Tofu show or Terraform show command. What that does is it prints out our Tofu state or Tofu plan, and we can format that as JSON so that we can export it into a downstream system. Today I'm going to use NetBox, but you can use a different API or just stuff it in a database if you want. So I've got this Tofu project built out. I'm using Tofu version 1.8.1, and you can see I've got my state encrypted, and VS Code does not know how to recognize the encryption block, so my syntax highlighting is throwing an error. But what I can do is I can type this Tofu show JSON, JSON, here we go. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Right, and I can print out my Terraform state. Now, even though I just showed you it's encrypted, what OpenTofu will do is it'll decrypt, and it'll even show you all my secrets like my SSH keys, right? But if I scroll up, you can see here's all of the resources that I've built out in AWS, right? And here's the parsed JSON, right? If I parse this out, I prettify it into nice indents and everything, well, here it is. And you can see these are all the resources, right? I've got my EC2s, I've got my data blocks. So what this project did is it built out a VPC in AWS, 4 subnets, a public subnet and 3 private subnets, and then an EC2 in each one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pipe this Tofu show output into this Python script. All right, now what this is set up to do is it's set up to use the NetBox API, and it'll take all of the JSON and it will create NetBox resources based on that JSON output. Now I'm going to come over into Chrome, and I'm using this NetBox Docker repo. I've got this stood up locally, right? I'm gonna be making calls to the NetBox REST API, and you can see locally this NetBox Docker setup doesn't have any devices in it, right? It doesn't even have any sites in it. No device types, no device roles, etc. So if I come back into VS Code, right, and I run Tofu show Terraform state, and I pipe that into my Python script, well, that's all going to be taken as standard in, right? Python script's going to run through it all, and it's going to push those resources into NetBox. So I can come back into NetBox now, refresh, there we go, and all of my devices have been added with all of their IPs, right? All the device types, all the device roles in this VPC that I've added as a site. So it's that simple. I will post this repo. I'm going to take down all these resources so that no one use the Terraform state that I just showed you, or the SSH keys and all that stuff. But I will post a link to this repo so you can see here's all the Terraform configurations, right? Or Tofu configurations. Here are all the here's the Python script, and you can see how they match and try it out for yourself if you like.